Good evening. Hello and welcome to this brand new weekly live show from RBM, aka Steve, that's me. And I'm here with my guest, One Gen Media, One Generation Media. How are you, One Gen?
Howdy, I'm good, thanks. A few technical difficulties, but we're here now.
Yeah, a few technical difficulties because this is the first time we're doing this. And of course, my guest was supposed to be here a few minutes before to set up and he's only just got on, which means I've now lost all my uploaded data that I was going to do because I refreshed the page. But we'll still manage. We'll get through this. So, how are we all? How's the chat? Anyone in the chat?
I'm not
We have
sure.
five watchers. South London lad. There we go. Where are you? Oh, well.
I got hacked. I got hacked when I was in London, didn't I? So they logged me out with all my crap.
Well, currently I'm at home and I'm on YouTube, as is One Gen. Originally, though, we're from London, so we're London born and bred. And so that is us. How are you, South London lad? We're North London lads. Ain't we? One Gen.
Yeah, well, North London. Born and bred.
That's it. When it was good, years ago anyway.
Where's South London lad from? He's not South London anymore, is he?
Isn't he? Right, so yeah, we've got Craig here as well. Great to see you doing a live. We don't see much of you. This is a great YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Craig. I appreciate your comment. No, I haven't really done many lives. I was hoping to build my subscriber base a little bit more because the last time I went live as a test a couple of months ago, didn't have any viewers, and it was quite awkward because we didn't have anyone to respond to. Whereas this, when we're getting comments, it flows better because then we can respond, answer, and discuss comments. So yeah, so I thought I'd try it out again today to see if we do get anyone in the chat. And so far, it looks like we have 7, which is great. It's better than the 0 we had a couple of months ago when I first tried going live. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. So yeah, what happened with your video clips then? What were you going to play us? What was the first one?
I can still do it. I just have to upload them bit by bit now. I just thought we'd start off chatting and then I can upload them and we'll just go over a couple of clips.
Well, yeah, I was going to chat about.
Well, anything. If anyone has any comments or questions they want to ask us, feel free to put that in the comment section and we'll get them up and read them out and discuss as much as we can.
Good comment from South London lad there. He's just hated like Millwall. He's never been to South London.
I was answering Dave's question. What was he saying? I've never been South London. I'm just hated like Millwall. Controversial subjects. We like that. We can get the chat going with this if there's any Millwall fans out there, which I'm sure there are a lot of.
Well, I might as well start it off seeing as South London lads in the chat. What did I say about living an hour ago on Speaker's Corner? There was a white Christian telling them about their Islam religion, and guess what happened? The police carted him off and told him that he can't talk about that.
Of course they did.
Speaker's Corner of all places. It's just disgusting. I mean,
well, the thing is with Speaker's Corner, even I thought that it's a place of free speech. You go there, you can have free speech, say whatever you want. But we're learning more and more, especially with this government, that free speech isn't allowed anywhere. It's like, take a look at X. X is a platform owned by an American. Yeah, if you say the wrong thing on there, you're still going to get carted away and chucked in prison because you're not allowed free speech. It doesn't matter where you are or where it is. Free speech isn't allowed. That's why when I went to Speaker's Corner on my first visit, videos on my channel somewhere, my first visit, my first speech, I was a bit nervous because I just want to speak from the heart and talk, but I can't because you got to be careful of what you say because otherwise you're going to get in trouble and you're going to get locked up. So yeah, even at Speaker's Corner, when I was speaking to Street Mike and I was trying to refer to like the Islamists, I was coming out with these new quotes that people are saying like, oh, the correct demographic and I could even see him smirk like, as in this is Speaker's Corner, say what you want. But even there, I didn't feel like free to say what I want because of the laws and this horrible government.
Well, the first thing I've got to say about that is it's down to Sadiq Khan, isn't it? He's the one that's in control of the Met, and if the Met aren't being policed properly. And I think it's about time we had a new London mayor. So let's get some more
We
coverage.
need
on
a new London mayor. To be honest, the last mayor election, I think it was Conservatives or Reform. I can't remember exactly, but whoever came second place was very close to actually ousting. You know,
The Reform had a candidate. I can't remember what the scores were at the time, but Nick Tenkoni, I think he should go for it. I think Reform are going to get the councillors, so he should probably go for London Mayor.
The problem with Sadiq Khan, Sadistic Khan, as I like to call him, Mayor of London, you know, the future Sir Sadistic Khan, I might add, apparently. All of his voters are in London. Obviously, all the migrants now, they all flock to London. It doesn't, you know, when they're coming over here on the boats and they're getting put all over the country, here, there, and everywhere, right? I can guarantee that most of them are going to leave wherever they're put and go to London, because London's the capital. It's where they're going to want to be, and they're going to want to be around, you know, the majority of, you know, their countrymen, etc., which is in London. So his votes are growing at a rapid rate in London. That's the only reason that he got voted in again, is because most of those voters will never vote Reform, because they're not, you know, they're not from here. And yeah.
Well, we need everyone that's opposed to Sadiq Khan to vote for one person. If they can all vote for one person to oust him out, then that's, I think, the only way it's going to happen now. Especially the fact that we've had, well, apparently the figures are London has accepted the most amount of, I guess, voting refugees that have been here for so long that they're now allowed to vote. So he's not going to lose his numbers, is he, if he's already getting enough just to stay in? But we have to, I think now's going to be the last chance. The next one that comes up is going to
but the more they come over here and the more they reach the age of 18, the more votes he's going to get. I mean, if anything, this upcoming, I think it's in May, isn't it? Those are the local elections. Does that actually affect the mayoral? Is that the mayoral vote as well? I'm not actually sure.
Yeah,
this is the best time
sure.
that, you know, he could actually get outvoted. But even if you look at the petition map, the hotspots on the petition map were red all over the country for people that signed the petition. The only places that were, you know, yellow, which means not many people signed the petition, London. And that just goes to show that London, you know, London has been taken. And, yeah, we're not going to get it back that easily, hopefully, one day.
Have you got an image of the map? Because when I saw it, it was on about 1.5 million, and I think the most of the votes were coming from Northern Ireland and up north, Lincolnshire, Northern Tamworth, Leeds, that kind of area. So I don't know if you've got it to hand, but I say they were the...
I can get it. I'll get it in a minute. Let's just read out a couple of comments. Northern here lived in London. Don't miss it. My brother still lives there with his family until he's got his children growing up. Then he's moving to Italy. I don't blame him. To be honest, you know, if I had the money, I'd probably move somewhere else as well, even though that sounds like I should stay here and fight. Fight for what? I mean, honestly, yeah, you know, I don't think we're ever going to win the fight. Personally, I think we're too far gone. It's not going to stop me trying. You know, you've got to try everything you can and keep on going. But, you know, it's not looking good at the moment.
Well, it's hard to even put up a fight when you're banned from doing it, and it's against the law to say or do anything that's opposed to the attack that we're getting at the moment.
Let me just see if I can find an image of this petition map.
I mean, how bad's it got to get before we're actually allowed to defend ourselves? I mean, if people try that now and they're getting carted off. You can't even speak freely at Speaker's Corner anymore without being silenced or taken away.
No, well, yeah, that's the thing with Speaker's Corner. Like, is it really free speech at Speaker's Corner, though? Has it always been allowed? I'm quite sure it's not.
Didn't you ever look at those pictures, the Speaker's Corner board and the Heckler's board? I'm sure it's stated in there about free speech. I mean, I'm going to do a video. Probably. I think I'm going to do a video soon on the pledge. I know there's going to be a big push of the pledge from a lot of people, but I've actually got a copy of the Magna Carta, so we can go through the Magna Carta and probably find that freedom of speech in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, South London lad commented that Khan didn't even know where Harrow was in London. I mean, you think he's just saying that?
Khan didn't know Harrow was in London.
There's no way he's not going to know where Harrow is, and if it's in London, surely. I bet he's got family in Harrow.
Well, to be honest, Khan, he doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He's just following the Islamist vote and everything else and doing what they want him to do, pretty much.
Well, talking about that, I don't suppose you saw the Oxford, what was it? The Oxford group of meeting of somebody or other that Ben Habib spoke at. Did you see that video the other day? I don't know much about it, but there's been a lot of. Apparently, there was somebody there who was talking about Hamas and someone else cussing Palestine. They all seem to be from the South Asian community. It's only just come out over the last day or two. I think it's.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, it's all over YouTube. Yeah, I'll say it's all over YouTube, but I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know how true some of the stuff is they've been saying in it. But I remember watching a little clip yesterday. Some young chap from Oxford, obviously pro Hamas, and he was talking. Well, he was actually cussing Palestine quite bad, saying it's not a real country. The flag should be burned. This, that, and the other.
South London lad says every city and town and now villages have illegal migrants in it. That's true. There's probably not one. I mean, I'm probably living in one of the most Anglo-Saxon towns there is at the moment, and even then, we have. They're coming in, and year by year the numbers have been growing. Every delivery driver is not from here, and they come out at night as well. I noticed a couple of times I've driven around it. Yeah, a couple of times I've driven around. You walk around during the day, you drive around during the day, you hardly see any migrants, any foreign nationalities where I live. And I've gone out a couple of times at about 11 p.m, half 11 p.m, and they're everywhere, everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. And
I
don't know why, but
I've heard that they're coming out at night time. But I mean,
yeah, and this is why people are feeling unsafe to walk the streets, especially women, because they just don't feel safe to walk the streets anymore. Especially if that's the case, if they go out at night and the majority of people they see aren't from here, they're
Well, there was a clip I saw yesterday in Ireland of an immigrant attacking a woman. She looked like she might have been in her 60s, that kind of dress and age. Trying to rob her, I think, and touch her, on the street. And then I think she kind of put up a fight. And as she put up a fight, he pushed her into a bus. And I think she hit her head on the wheel of the bus. And after that,
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, then a couple there. I say that a couple
that was
of
awful.
a couple of people jumped in and kind of wrestled him to the floor. But this kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. I mean, there's clip after clip after clip every bloody day of what's going on, and
yeah,
it's against our culture and our values, and I don't understand how it's been allowed to actually continue in this country. And I say we're going to have to think of something because the judiciary, the police, the government, they just seems to be like an attack from within now. At least when we had a war or something, we were able to defend our country. We can't even defend our country at the moment. And where does that leave us? With our hands tied behind our back.
And the thing is, you're not going to see that on the mainstream media or anywhere else. You're not going to see it on YouTube. So if you want to see clips like that, just go onto X, because it's it is a free speech platform. And it's all over X. But every day I pop on there, I have a read, and it's just the same old story. There's another image of migrants attacking something or someone. And
I think there's only so much you can watch in a day when it comes to that kind of negative stuff.
Yeah.
It is definitely overloaded with it at the moment. And I mean, if you talk about this country, look at bloody Europe. Sweden, that's overrun now, completely been terrorised. The French government's about to collapse, isn't it? They're overrun. I think the only countries that have actually come out and banned Islam now is Hungary, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and I think Poland. I saw a clip of the Polish using live rounds on them now because they're still trying to enter Europe. If you remember the big migration of 2015.
I saw that, but I don't know how true that is. Are they just sort of shooting rounds into the sky as a bit of a warning?
Oh, wasn't that? Maybe. I saw the ones where they were running across the road trying to jump the fence and they were shooting at them. But yeah, that's the thing. So apparently they're still trying to enter Europe from the same migration route that they took in 2015. So although we're seeing sort of boatloads coming here and there, and Europe's already overrun, there's still more coming. So it's not like this is it. You know what I mean?
If everyone that is watching this live, please hit the like button. Don't forget, as we have 2 likes, and it was 2 likes at the start as well. So
Too, hey?
please hit the like button. It's
Yep.
the only way that gets this, these videos and lives and that shown to more people. It's the algorithm. You have to have the like button being hit and people commenting in the comment section for it to go up in the analytics and then reach more people. So if you can hit the like button, please do so. I now have the heat map, which I've just been working on. It's taken a while to sort out and convert, but gonna get that up in a second.
Yes, let's check out this heat map.
I'm kind of
what's the number
I'm
on?
kind of winging everything at the moment because I'm not used to doing all this. But
it got up to about 3 million, didn't it? And then it kind of stopped. Do you know what the figures are at the minute?
There we go. Yeah. Right. So here is the heat map currently. I think the last time I checked, it was at 2 million signatures. As you can see,
it was at 2.9 when I last saw, so it was near 3.
Was it? So it's got a lot more then since.
Well, this is what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if someone's brought out another one to try and get some of the votes off it, because I remember when they were talking about possibly bringing a petition to was it for the pledge or something? And everyone was saying, "Oh, we better not, in case 2 or 3 people start the petition up and it spreads to sort of people that vote and it doesn't get counted correctly." So I'm wondering if it kind of hit a wall when it got to 2.9 and hasn't done much since. Well,
that's the current heat map situation anyway. As we can see, London is pretty much lost. Anything that's yellow is pretty much, lefties, high immigration population.
Well, looking at the yellow on the map, that's where the main Islamic population seem to be living, from what I've seen as well.
Yeah, Birmingham is
the Midlands, Leeds area, South Leeds, Lincolnshire.
It's also, not only is this a heat map of people that have signed the petition, but it's also a bit like a heat map of the population, because immigrants that are living in this country aren't going to be signing this petition, right? Let's face it. And if this heat map shows anything, it shows where they're sort of based, the areas they're kind of based, which London, we know, is, you barely see an English face anymore.
I'm surprised.
Yellow, same as Birmingham.
I'm surprised Northern Ireland's yellow, because when the first million were on, that was dark red, Northern Ireland. I'm surprised that's gone a bit orangey yellow with the colour.
Yeah, I was surprised about that, because we've seen what's going on in Ireland and the situation they've been facing and how many people are standing up and protesting over there. So I was quite surprised to see that quite ill. I think Richard Ingham, he mentioned something about Northern Ireland and the situation, but I can't exactly remember what he was saying. But yeah, that's the current heat map. And
South London lad asks, what is the Get Khan Out of London petition looking like now? I didn't realise there was one. Is there one to get Khan out? Is that
there's probably several out there, to be honest. I'm pretty sure there's been one before, but yeah, a petition to get Khan out isn't going to do anything. You're a bit covered there.
That's right.
There we go. Yeah, so I don't think a petition's going to do much. Petitions don't generally do much anyway. Even a petition to get Keir Starmer out of government, over 2 million votes. I knew that the petition would have no effect at all, but the effect that it would have is it's sending him a message. Over 2 million people are saying, we hate you.
Well,
we do not like you.
I don't think it would never have done nothing. I mean, if it had got to 9 million, which was the amount of people that voted for Labour, that would have struck a vote of no confidence, because then the 9 million votes that they claimed that they had, obviously people would be against that. So, but I mean, they're going to hear it, aren't they? In January, it had to get over 1 million to be heard in the Houses of Commons, and that's where it's going to be heard now in January. But like you said about the other thing, though, what's the betting it's going to coincide with Trump getting in? So all the media are going to be focused on Trump and all these important domestic things that are being heard in January now are just going to get brushed over, aren't they? Like typical mainstream media fashion. So we'll have we'll have to spread some more light on that while it's all happening, because I can see the media won't even talk about it. Just like they didn't even cover the farmers' tractor protest in London. The only news company there was GB News, from what I saw, and us independents.
Talking of tractors.
Oh yeah.
Highlight video here. A little highlight video. Do you recognise? I mean, it's not a bad view you've got there, but you've got a guy in the way.
This was the third one that got in the way. Yeah.
Was it? So let's take a look at these highlights then to see exactly what is going on here.
You wanker. Oh.
Sorry, mate. You just go left a little bit. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Right there. Are you a photographer and you stand right in the way or something, do you?
I did find it quite funny, to be honest. A little grumpy outbursts here and there at people
Well,
getting in your way. But you know, I thought the one with the camera, the woman with the big camera, was quite funny because you know you were crouching down and everything, doing the proper photography stuff, getting that shot, and then boom, out comes the big lens, and it's like, for fuck's sake.
I've been there for 20 minutes. I was getting pictures of every tractor, and obviously there was other photographers around in the area, and most of them give you space, especially if you've been there first, like I was, before they all came over. And then right on the money shot, she goes and walks right in front of me, didn't she? Difficult.
Right on the money shot.
But
yeah.
No, I was gonna leave those.
The old anchor on the ladder as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to leave those bits out, but I thought, usually people lose interest about 2-3 minutes, so I left it in.
Well, no, I mean, I find it quite funny. In fact, I mean, that kept me, it kept it entertaining, kept it watchable because I was laughing, and if people are laughing, they're going to continue watching, right? And I thought it was quite funny. I was cracking up, all this grumpiness and moaning.
I had one ahead of me like this on the pole trying to get the good footage. I had my camera up there like that, getting, from the side, so I'm like crouched down in my position. I was like Joe Pasquale and the one-man band. The only thing I didn't have was a horn between my buttocks.
So I thought I'd grab those grumpy highlights just to show because that was quite funny. Anyone who wants to watch the full version of the video, of course, go to One Gen's channel at One Generation Media.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Jump over and press subscribe if you haven't already. We could do with a few more subscribers. We've got I say it was a great day, to be fair. I mean, a lot of tractors went there. The air horns were deafening. I mean, you probably can't pick it up on the camera as loud as it actually was, but I was in a good location which had good acoustics, so it
sounded really loud. Like on some of the lives I was watching, that was incredibly loud. Some of them. And I thought the Baby Shark one was quite funny. You see, if more people were, horning Baby Shark, I'm sure they'd end up listening because no one wants to hear that going on. It's been going on long enough anyway, hasn't it, the Baby Shark? But
I think it was South London the South London lad that didn't like me whistling it, but it was stuck in my head during the live stream. So, yeah. You lot keep saying Baby Shark.
He loves the tractors, though. He loves the tractors.
I never knew it was called Baby Shark. I mean, which tune is it that you're referring to? Just hum it to me.
Baby Shark, da, 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 Baby Shark, da, 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 da.
Yeah, what's that?
All of that. So we all need growers. What do you think about that? We all need growers.
We do. We need to grow our greens in the UK. Our green fields.
Greens are good. Greens are very good. Definitely need to keep them going. So, I got a couple of things here which I've got to re-upload. Christmas. It's the Christmas period. It's Christmas time. So let's have a look at some Christmas highlights. Let's start with Starmer and his Christmas tree, which I'm sure people have seen.
When I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! It worked. Nervous moment there, but it's all good.
Way! Hey, it worked.
I'll be back with you.
How lackluster? How much more lackluster can you possibly get than Keir Starmer on his Christmas tree?
It was like Nick Tinconi said, that unemotionless, on whatever it is, moving face of his. Can't stand it. He hasn't got any emotion in him at all, has he?
No, absolutely not. He's very robotic. This is supposed to be Christmas and a time of Christmas cheer. There you are. Go back. Supposed to be Christmas and a time of Christmas cheer, but you can see how interested he is. He's not very interested in Christmas, not at all. But of course, if it was Ramadan, I'm sure he'd be,
Did you
a lot
see
more
the
enthusiastic about turning on celebrations.
Did you see the countdown for the Christmas lights tree in Trafalgar Square? That was pathetic. Everyone's waiting there, isn't they, for this nice, brilliant, dazzling display like we're famous
Well,
past. And there wasn't even there was hardly a cheer. Everyone was in shock.
speaking about the Trafalgar Square Christmas tree, let's have a look at that, shall we? Because I have that as well.
Let's have a look. Just
Seven, 6, 5, 4.
Really? Really?
It's
London, Trafalgar Square, thousands of people, as you can see, and we get that.
ridiculous, isn't it? It's disgusting. In fact,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing. It really is.
I was
embarrassing. It's fucking
I was
awful.
watching Harman Singh. He put a reaction out on this Christmas tree, saying how bad it was. I was going to put the video up as well, but I didn't download it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I think he was saying something like you'd get better Christmas trees in the desert or something. It looks like a giant cactus more than a Christmas tree. I mean, look at it. Honestly, I'm disgusted.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It really is. I mean, they should just tear it down and start again. Or at least
Absolutely.
let people come along and like add a decoration to it or something. Because I'm sure you'll have a long line of people queuing up. Do you know what I mean? Just stand there, long pole, charge £1 each or something, slap one up. Make
Yeah,
some
I mean, it's not even got coloured lights. Coloured lights would at least look more Christmassy. I mean, I know people do the white light thing and everything, but it doesn't even look like a Christmas tree. It's too straight. It's not even bushy at the bottom like a Christmas tree is supposed to be. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the comments here. We have Hufflepuffle. Hi, one Jen. Do we have to pay you, Dunno, or jizya
Yeah, no,
to watch
no,
this channel?
no Dunya or Jizya here. he's from Big Nose's channel. He's talking.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about do we have to pay membership? Not an our channel.
No membership
free.
for this channel. No membership. This channel is membership free. And yeah, so that's the Christmas tree. I think I had something else, or did I? Let's have a look. Yes, one more thing. There is a song that's currently going about, which is the Starmer Christmas song to do with like the older, people.
Is this
losing their
the
still and everything
freezing
else.
one? I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I don't actually know if I can play it or how much I can play because I'd assume it'd be copyrighted.
There's one
Possibly.
that's actually there's one that's in the charts in there that's apparently on the
It's
sale.
number one.
Yeah, that's it.
It's number one on the download charts at the moment. I'll play a little bit of it just so you can kind of hear the gist of it. Fair use and all that. So, yeah. Start from there.
Try to imagine being 80 years old. Oh, that's where I'll be since Keir left me. I wish tears could heat my home. What can I do without fuel? I've got no place to go. It'll be freezing this Christmas without fuel at home.
So yeah, I'll play that much of it. I'm sure 30 seconds comes under fair use policy, and if it doesn't, well, I'll get a copyright strike. But anyway, it's promoting the video, so anyone that wants to hear the full version can go and download this on whatever
You could just
download
say
server they wish.
you could just say you're raising awareness, and then they should like let you have it, shouldn't they? Copyright
But
free.
yeah, well, I found that video clip on Twitter, and it said please like and share and everything else. But I assume that's just a Twitter thing. But if there's music that's downloadable, maybe even I don't know if it's paid for. I haven't looked if you have to pay for it. I'd assume so. If someone's made a song and number one on the charts. But yeah,
Well, yeah.
pointing people that way. But that's the gist of it. Those are the words of the song and the gist of the tune. And it's good. It's quite catchy. It's a depressing song as well. It's not not so nice. All the freezing pensioners and that, but.
Yeah, again,
raise
it's raising
awareness.
awareness, isn't it? I suppose for the pensioners and the winter fuel payment and all the other things that Starmer's making them suffer this Christmas.
Yeah. South London lad, what are your thoughts on the drone stuff in America? Drone stuff in America.
Yeah,
You'll have to elaborate.
Yeah,
on
go
what
on.
drone. There's a lot of drone stuff going about at the moment. What with the drones they use in war and everything else, all standard drone. I have a drone. I have an under 250-gram drone, which means I can pretty much fly anywhere I want. So I know a little bit about drones, but I don't know the drone stuff in America.
Yeah, I haven't
Puffle looked like a giant cactus. Yeah, that's the general consensus, is that the Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square looks like a giant cactus, and it's disgusting. It's awful.
Did you
It's
see
really
those fake
changeable.
clips?
It's Khan, though, isn't it? I mean, I'm pretty sure Khan is who decides what the trees are going to be, and
Well, it's the budget, isn't it? If there's no budget for anything, then they're giving it to blooming hotel fees and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but
They can't
Khan-
afford it for the Christmas tree, can they? But we've always
Khan's
been
behind
given
the
we've always
lights
been
and all that.
we've always been given a tree by Norway, haven't we? Every year as part of an old agreement or something. But they've provided
Yeah.
one every year to us for Christmas. I mean, so it's down to them for the tree. I remember about 10, 15 years
Well, that's
ago.
definitely not a Norwegian tree. You can tell that already.
About 10, 15 years ago, I mean, because usually the trees are pretty good they send us, but about 10, 15 years ago, they sent a really dry, droopy one, and it made so much headlines, you know what I mean? Everyone was talking about it, but this bloody thing hardly looks any better, and I mean, that stupid string of
Hello,
the
business
they've poked
Australia.
over it as well doesn't do it much justice at all. Maybe we should start get everyone to put a decoration on it.
Well, this is it, because I mean, I've seen that Khan is responsible for the tree and what it's going to look, how it's going to look like. He's behind it anyway. Someone showed a clip of the Ramadan decorations in London that he was behind. They were fantastic, you know.
I'm
A
sure
lot of
they
effort
were.
went into it, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of colour. We get a cactus. Well, to be honest, it's the perfect place to be, because if you see one of my older videos on my channel, I discussed the hideous Trafalgar Square trans art
Yeah, I saw
that they've erected there. Well, the tree's just as ugly, isn't it? So, you know, Trafalgar Square, apart from Nelson's Column and the nice lines, everything else is ugly now, isn't it? The tree, the bloody stupid art they've got on that fourth plinth.
That's what-
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, I suppose if things carry on the way they
Yeah.
are, we're going to be looking like them in Beirut soon. So the Christmas tree and the sculptures are going to be the last things that people will be complaining about. It'll be the destruction in the streets and the piles of rubbish that's piled up everywhere that they go through. But yeah, no, what was I going to say as well? There's something else on top of that. The decorations, wasn't there? I forget. It'll come back to me.
Just the decorations in Cannes. But yeah, so we've got the next Unite the Kingdom rally, haven't we? And that's going to be on the 1st of February.
There
I
is.
assume the tree's going to be taken down by then, because no one wants to see that.
Isn't there the pledge rally before that? Is that a rally or is that just a gathering or something? That's by the same people, isn't it? Unite the Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm not sure when they're doing that. The plan of action, you mean?
Yeah, when is that? December. It's coming up, isn't it? Soon, 21st.
I think it's the 20th of December. That's the pledge plan of action. It's to try and double the numbers of the pledge, which is the People's Charter, the People's Magna Carta. I will be doing a video on the pledge, and I'm hoping to happen in a few days' time. Before that, as my help, as my plan of action, there's a little advert that I'll do for it, which will be amusing. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this call of action. I mean, is it happening anywhere? Are they actually going to be anywhere doing some speeches, or is there a gathering?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think if there was going to be some sort of gathering or meet, then we would have heard about it by now. I think it's just going to be a day where they try and get as many people to, you know, get people to sign it. I think they'll probably just do a live podcast with the usual lot, you know, Richard Paul, etc.
There's so many. There's so many pensioners and old people that I know that want to sign it, but they can't because they haven't got access to a computer or a smartphone. So maybe it'd be wise to kind of print off some hard copies and take them up Speaker's Corner or something. Let people sign them themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if people can print out sort of as many as they can for leafleting, you know, even if they stick them up in Windows notice boards, it's all going to help. It's all going to drive numbers to the pledge. South London lad said Ramadan had shitload of decorations. Yeah, it did. That's what I mean. I saw images of it. It looked fantastic for their celebrations. Unfortunately, not so for us. Huffle Puffle, perhaps Norway. I was causing us public humiliation
I
for leaving the
suspect
EU.
that.
Probably.
Well, I don't think
So,
so. They can see the state the EU's in now, so we probably got out at the right time, if you ask me.
yeah, I mean, they can see why we were doing it. You know, part of leaving the EU was so that we could take control of our borders. So once we left the EU, we took control of our borders, but then didn't use the opportunity that Brexit gave us to act on that policy and secure those borders. And this is why it's gone on for too long, because the Conservatives are just as much to blame. Look at the recent stuff that's coming out with the open borders.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, even going back,
data.
even going back to tribal times, though, borders were there to be enforced. And nowadays, businesses like the EU just think they're lines on a map, when they're not lines on a map. They're there to be defended, and our borders need to be defended. We just haven't got a border force at the moment that are working for us. I think I even heard something about the RLNI. Is it? Even they're picking up refugees now and bringing them to shore.
Well, they're the main people who are picking them up.
Well,
because every time,
so, I mean, where they get the money from?
Well, this is it. People are saying, you know, to boycott the RLNI because of, you know, they're part of the problem. Because every time a boat enters our waters coming from France, the RNLI almost has a duty to go out, pick them up, take them off the boat, put them on their boat, and bring them into shore for their safety. So every time a boat now is coming, you know, into our waters, the RNLI are getting out there to secure them into Britain in a safer manner.
Number one, though, we've been paying France, I think it's £40 million a year to stop them from getting their boats from the shore of France into our waters, which they're not bloody using to help us because they're transporting them halfway, aren't they? So that's 40 million a year to France that we could bloody well save because they're not doing nothing about it. Apart from that, though, number two, France is a safe country in their eyes, so they're not fleeing war. They're not refugees if they're coming from France. France is a safe country. They should be safe in France. As soon as they decide to make that trip across to England, they're an illegal immigrant. I mean, they're not a refugee. They're not fleeing any war or disaster. So you always get people going, "Oh, they're not illegals. They're this, they're that, and the other." Well, they're not. This is an invasion.
No.
An invasion.
And that's the big argument that everyone keeps making to the left, and you know, that is the argument. It's like, but they're fleeing war-torn countries. Oh, what's the France, Italy, Germany? They're war-torn countries, are they? Exactly. Because that's where they came through to get to France. There's no other way to get to France than going through a country that is not war-torn. So they're already in a safe country. They're choosing to come here because of our benefit system.
So it was a mass immigration of 2015 as well. They all got into Europe. They should have been safe when they hit Hungary and those first countries, but they've continued. And we can see what's happening in our country due to it.
And I love that argument. Every time a lefty turns around and says, but they're fleeing war. No, they're not. They're fleeing France because that's where they're coming at. And but they still won't accept it. Like they'll find a way to dismiss it. They'll never accept it, right? Because they're dimwits, you know.
Dimwits. It's interesting.
Yeah. They've lost their heads a long time ago. They don't know what sense is.
They're trapped in a child's body.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mentality was, you know.
So yeah, before we wrap this up, does anyone else have any questions or topics to discuss?
Put them down below.
Of course, we'll have I'll do another live show. I'm planning to do this on a Sunday, make this a regular weekly thing on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'll try to keep mine midweek. We can cover both then.
Yeah. So around the same time as now, and then I'll have some, you know. It'll flow more, I think, next week, because like I said, we had issues today. I refreshed my page because I thought, maybe I need to refresh it to see you, to add you to the video. And when I refreshed it, it literally deleted 10 videos that I'd uploaded in preparation to show.
Aren't they all held down in the band area? You know, we have all your videos down there.
Yeah, that's where they were. That's where I uploaded them, ready to present. And then when I refreshed the page, they all disappeared. So that's why I've just been adding them up today, just as we've gone along. But I had them stopped in places where I was going to start the videos from, like the song and that. But Yeah, we'll find maybe we'll discuss the pledge. I was going to do that today, but I need more preparation. I was thinking discussing the pledge, get the pledge up and discuss each section.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a
Well,
good one.
I'm going to do that one during the week anyway about this Christian being removed from Speaker's Corner for telling the truth about Muhammad and their book, The Reviat. Yeah, I was shocked. I can't believe that. Do you know what I mean? They come down there and slate Jesus every Sunday, but the moment he decides to say something, they want to turf him out. I thought they can bring those laws out on the streets if they want, the stupid blasphemy laws and all these other idiotic things that Starmer was bringing out. But Speaker's Corner, that should always be for free speech, and
Well, hopefully so.
quite shocking actually.
Hufflepuffle was watching Vet Cooper on Kunzberg this morning. My blood was boiling. She is not a Scooby. I wouldn't know what you're referring to because I don't watch it. I refuse to watch This Morning. I refuse to watch BBC, any mainstream media. I flat out refuse. I'll watch Sky News if there's any updates on like big breaking stories, and I'll watch just to see what's going on. But otherwise, I'll go on to X and YouTube, and then I'll get my news from the sources that are there because they tell the truth more.
Yeah, Hufflepuff.
Do you know about
what, what was Vet Cooper saying? I missed that as well.
Yeah.
My blood boils every time I hear Starmer speak. That's what it is about him.
Truthlight says, I know why it's two-tier. They are oppressing certain Muslims in London, injecting them with stuff and then blaming them for not working. It's real.
Well, that's Khan,
What do you make of that?
Well, that's Khan, isn't it? Khan controls the Met Police. Khan's in control of most of that kind of stuff, isn't he? When it comes to London, they're injecting them with stuff. What kind of stuff? I'll have to look into that. But yeah,
I think it's more of a literal stuff like injecting them with words, like injecting.
Oh yeah, well you can tell that when you can tell that when you look at every single Labour MP trying to read out whatever the thing they're trying to push, and they're reading from a script. The other MPs have a quick glance and then they know what they're talking about. These ones are like but getting their words wrong, not bringing it out right. It's just pathetic. The whole thing is a joke, isn't it?
They are under woke. And the data's out there as well. The data's out there to be seen on how many have actually committed these.
The Islamic way, isn't it, to destroy the West and all the bad things in their book, coincides and goes along with extreme leftism and liberalism, doesn't it? They're still working towards the same goal. They both hate the West, hate society, hate civilization. I mean, you can tell if you look from Dubai all the way to Morocco, everywhere they've passed through like locusts, it's just a desert now, war torn, everything destroyed. You know what I mean?
And wars just keep on happening, don't they? It's like you have Ukraine and Russia going on, and then you get, of course, the Palestinian war and Israel. Now Israel's kicking off with Lebanon and Syria and all the other countries. I'm sure Egypt was involved. I'm sure Turkey will get involved because they're on their borders, and they'll probably end up.
Well, it's already happening with the Kurdish armies, and the Turkish want power now in Syria. But I mean, the Palestinians can all go back now and defend their country. I mean, why not?
They could, but they're getting a better life elsewhere, aren't they? So
it's not about getting a better life somewhere else. They're going to destroy it. This is what their bloody book says: is to destroy everything. So go back there and make it look like Dubai, or make it look like some of those other built-up Arab countries that are doing well now. Do you know what I mean? Go and defend your country. Stop preaching on the streets of ours. That's not helping your country, is it?
No. So Bluebell says the RNLI has turned into a free ferry service for them. They have lost a lot of donations, apparently. Well, I wouldn't disagree with that because I certainly wouldn't donate. I've donated in the past, but not anymore. The only problem that I have with this, right,
they've always needed donations.
Yeah, I mean, I keep hearing people say boycott the RNLI, don't donate to them, etc., etc. And I kind of partially agree with that because they are one of the root causes of bringing them safely into Britain. So you stop the service, you stop the donations, they're less likely to be able to do that or stop doing that. But at the same time, we're putting our own people at risk. If someone falls, fisherman falls off his boat.
Well, this is the thing.
We're going to want the RNLI to go out there and save them. So you can't really.
yeah, but they've done a good job in the past. That's the thing. They've saved lives and they've done it with low money. They've always accepted donations. The thing that I want to know is how much money have they been paid to ferry these people to shore? Because everything gets paid by someone. All these blooming
Yeah.
protesters get their flyers paid for, their signs, their anti-racist signs, all that bullcrap propaganda. That's paid for by somebody. Do you know what I mean? People have openly admitted that they get paid to stand out and protest for the Palestinians and not have a clue what they're protesting about. So it
Like
does
they
make
might have a deal
if they had, if they've had some kind of a payment, which they need because they've
deal with the government,
obligations.
probably.
Yeah, I'd like to find out more, have some transparency, because they've always done a good job. They've always needed donations because they haven't had much money, and they have saved a lot of lives, on our shores. But
That's what I'm saying. Apart from,
yeah,
you know,
a bit wishy-washy.
apart from bringing in all the immigrants and that, it's we need them. It's like saying the police. If we found out that the police were helping them and on their side more than our side, we wouldn't say, stop the police, get rid of the police, because we need them. It's like any emergency service. I think RNLI, even though it's a donation based service, we need them for for our own people, our own waters. So yeah, it's a bit of a 50-50 on that with me.
I know.
Before
I want to say, yeah, boycott them, but then they've done such a good job in the past. I can't really.
Yeah, and we
How
still, like I
heavily
say,
agree
we
with
still
that.
need them for our rescue as well.
Etc. about boat crossings and migrations. BBC.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. It does. I know. Like Hufflepuff says, and with all this brown nosing now that Zuckerberg's doing to Trump and Bezos and all that, trying to say, the FBI forced us to be liberal, forced us to censor all this stuff. I think it's all a bit of a lie just for them to try and get in there. I don't think that it's. They can obviously see there's change happening now, and pick
it's
this up.
interesting because Starmer's been putting out those numbers the past couple of weeks, hasn't he? Where he says 9,400 returned. Apparently, the Home Office put out a post today, I think it's on X, where it says, I think 13,500 have been returned. Now, I watched a video earlier by the Black Belt barrister, and he explained it very well, saying that those numbers, they're manipulating. It's almost like the government's trying to manipulate us. Because 9,400 returned doesn't mean illegal migrants, a person. It just means, if a person is returned twice, say a person is returned, they come back, they outstay their visa, and they're told, you've got to leave, you've outstayed their visa, and they willingly leave, that is actually one of the people that have been returned. But each number is not a person, each number is a time. So if that person had been returned 4 times, say they got deported, outstayed their visa, they came back, got returned again, came back, got returned again, that's 3 returns within that 9,400. So those numbers aren't accurate, because it doesn't mean that the people that aren't allowed to be here have been returned, as in illegal immigrants and so on. It just means anyone who's outstayed their visas, stayed on holiday too long, they all come under the those numbers. So it's very misleading. But to watch it properly, watch the Black Belt barrister if you're interested. He's very good at explaining stuff better than me, and he explained it pretty well. But I thought
I
fascinating.
like his videos. I do. I've watched a few in the past, so he's a good one.
Yeah. So Craig says it's not just London that's fallen, it's not that great up here. The whole Western world is falling apart because of the maniacs in power in the EU. Well, up there, up north, I suppose it's been a problem there for a long time. I think the biggest town city that was taken over by the majority of migrants was Birmingham, wasn't it? Wasn't that like the biggest?
Well, I get to see quite a lot of the
population.
country, and Peterborough's been overrun. Northamptonshire completely overrun by them. The locals, I spoke to some locals, and they said, there's maybe 10% of locals now left in Northamptonshire in the villages and some of the main city centres. They're just all blooming beggars. The whole area looks dirty. Leicester was shocking. That looks dirty as well.
We went to the Black Country. When we went to the Black Country to play the poker tournament, and
Lovely.
and it's the first time that I'd ever been in that area, and I was actually amazed. It felt like a foreign country. I hadn't seen that level, ever. And I didn't travel around much anyway. I always sort of stayed in my own town and never went out. But I went to Birmingham, walked down the high street. We drove down the high street towards the Bull Ring, and every shop had like Islamic lettering and you know, it was all foreign. You know, I was like, you know, where am I? You know, it felt like I wasn't in England. And I mean, that's going back a long time now as well. So,
Yeah.
and of course, it spread ever since then. But you know, of course, hopefully, it doesn't spread too much longer if we keep fighting the battle. Ferret, the Ferret's Variety Channel. Hello, Ferret. Hello, mate. How are you? Hello, McCockers, if I can say that. Yeah, you can say that. That's not currently banned by the woke YouTube just yet, I don't think. So.
Oh, we've been switched off. We've been switched off.
But yeah, so anyway, we're just about to wrap this up anyway. Ferrets, you've come in too late. We've been live now for, how long will we be live for? 50 minutes, about 50 minutes, which is good.
Not bad for your
like I
first
said-
one.
No, like I said, the first time we went live, you know, we didn't have any viewers. No, we had one. I think we had one. There was a lady that was asking a couple of questions. But yeah, we certainly appreciated everyone's input in the comments, and you know, having your say, and you know, it helps the live stream as well because it gives us something to talk about and respond to.
Sunday definitely seems like a better day as
So,
well for viewers.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
get many
You know, I
viewers.
think we got 11 watching now. I think I saw 12 a minute ago. So, but that's still good for a small channel, which this is. You know, we're growing. One day we want to have 100,000.
You're
we
a
are a
massive
small channel.
now.
We're a small channel, and you know, even having 10 is great. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't.
Have fun,
And,
people.
I think that's it for now. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next Sunday. I'll do another live next Sunday, but between today and then, I'll put up some videos anyway. So look out for those. 1 to
I'll
2
be
at
one
the
to
edge. So take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. One Jen, thank you for coming.
Bye bye. Thanks.